Student, in last video we discussed the azeotropic mixture. Okay, now let us discuss colligative properties and determination of molar masses. Okay, first let us see the what's the meaning of colligative property means. It is a Latin word. Okay, in that if you see, co means together, ligare means what, to bind. Okay, some we have the properties. It depends on the word solute. Let us see how this means. Here, colligative properties are those properties depends on the number of solute particles irrespective of their nature relative to the total number of particles present in the solution. So, what is the meaning of here means? For example, I am taking one beaker. Okay, in that I am taking to the water solvent. Then I am taking the water. Okay, in that now I am going to add the otherwise I am telling that 10 sodium chloride particles. Okay, for the first case. Okay, second case, if you have the 10 sugar particles, what happened here, properties will be same. Why? Because means it depends on the number of solid particles, not the nature. Sodium chloride sugar is nature is different. Okay, but here what properties depends on the what, number of particles. If you, for example, instead of here, if you add here for the same case, we have 10 sodium chloride now, I am going to add the 20 sodium chloride crystals. So what happened now, property is going to change. Why? Because means here we have the number 10, here we have the 20. So it depends on the number of solute particles, not the nature whatever that may be. Okay, but what here depends on the what, here number of solute particles. That properties are called as a what, colligative properties. From that we are going to determine the molar masses. Okay, let us see here. So here we have the colligative properties. 4 properties are there. First we have relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second we have elevation in boiling point. Third one is depression in freezing point. Last one we have osmotic pressure. Okay, now let us discuss all the colligative properties one by one. So first what we have, relative lowering of vapor pressure. So what is the meaning, exact meaning of that one, I will discuss now here. Okay, so let us see first what is, how can you define relative lowering of vapor pressure means. Here it is the ratio of lowering in vapor pressure to vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, the relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution containing a non-volatile solute is equal to mole fraction of solute in the solution. So what is a, how can you define an expression mean? If you go for the formula, mathematically you can, how can you show me here, P naught, P1 naught minus P1 divided by the P1 naught equal to X2. Okay, this is the expression for the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here if you go for the P1 naught minus P1, nothing but equal to lowering of vapor pressure. Okay, this value if you divide with the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, so this is called as a what, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here P1 naught means already we told vapor pressure of pure solvent. P1 means what, vapor pressure of solution. Okay, let us see here how it is possible. Okay, this equation how we got. For first we go for the, how we will go for the explanation how this equation we got. Okay, so here derivation for what, P1 naught minus P1 naught equal to X2. This is what, mole fraction of solute only, not the solvent. Okay, how this came. Okay, let us see now. I am taking the pure solvent. Okay, here we have the one beaker. In that I am taking the pure solvent. For this vapor pressure I am assuming as about P1 naught. Okay, here we got the pure solvent vapor pressure. This because of solvent is volatile in nature, you are going to get the vapors. Okay, that vapor pressure I am calling as about P1 naught. Okay, next I am taking non-volatile solute. This is a component 2. Okay, second component we are discussing the only binary components, means we have the only 2 components. So here solute is what, non-volatile, means what happened, you are not going to get any vapors from here. Okay, now I am going to add together, means I made the what, solution. This is a solvent, this is a solute, non-volatile solute, very very important. Now onwards you have to focus on the solute is volatile and non-volatile. Okay, so non-volatile solute you added here. So what happened here, you, as we already discussed, you are going to get the vapors from the only solvent, not from the solute. Okay, red color is what, solute. So here we are not getting the any red color vapors. Why? Because means our solute is what, non-volatile in nature. So if you see here, compare from here, from pure solvent have more vapor pressure, But here in come to solution, okay, vapor pressure going to be decreases. Here P1 means vapor pressure of solution here. Why? Because means already solute you added, so it's become a solution. Now if you see, P1 naught is greater than the P1. Why? Because means already we discussed, when you add the non-volatile solute on the surface, in the previous video already we discussed vapor pressure of solid liquid solution. Okay, so what happened in the surface? This vapor, this non-volatile solid going to be sit, and it's going to stop the vaporizing capacity of solvent molecules. Okay, so number of vapors of solvent going to be decreases. So indirectly what happened? Vapor pressure going to be decreases. So here I am going to give one statement. Pure solvent vapor pressure is greater than the solution when you added the non-volatile solute. Okay, so P1 naught is greater than the P1. Okay, now let us see here according to Raoult's law. So Raoult's law we are going to apply for the what? Here solvent only. Why? Because means solvent having the vapors, but we are getting the vapors from the solvent, not from the solute. Okay, now if you see here, so we are going to get the mole fraction. So here mole fraction what? P1 equal to x1 into P1 naught. Okay, so according to Raoult's law what? Partial pressure equal to what? Mole fraction into pure pressure component. Okay, the reduction in vapor pressure of solvent delta P is given as, here what happened? There is a reduction in the solvent vapor pressure. Why? Because when already we told, here we have initially this many vapors, but when you added the non-volatile solute, vapors are going to be decreases. So there is a reduction in the vapor pressure, that I am going to write as delta P. Okay, so delta P means what? Here what? P1 naught minus P1. Why? Because means here this is initially we have more value, but after adding that one in the solution we have the less value, so P1. Okay, so P1 naught minus, instead of P1 I am going to substitute here what? P1 naught into x1. Why? Because means from the Raoult's law what we have? Partial pressure equal to what? x1 into P1 naught. So instead of here this partial pressure I am going to substitute what? P1 naught into x1. So here what happened? P1 naught is common. So P1 naught, if you go for the common, what you are getting? 1 minus x1. Okay, we know that here what happened? Sum of the mole fraction the components equal to 1. Okay, so we have the two components. So first component mole fraction x1, second component mole fraction x2. That should be equal to 1. So we want x2 means what? Here we need the solute. Okay, x2 mole fraction of solute how much means? If you want this is solute, so x2 is equal to what? 1 minus x1. This is 1 minus x1. So instead of, now what I will do? Instead of here 1 minus x1 I am going to substitute what? X2. So now then equation what happened now? Delta P1 equal to what? P1 naught into x2. So here delta P1 divided with the what? P1 naught equal to x2. So delta P what happened? Lowering of vapor pressure. Now you can understand. So what happened? Delta P naught means lowering of vapor pressure. Means what? When you add the, for the volatile solvent, when you add the non-volatile solute, there is a decrease in the vapor pressure, lowering of vapor pressure. That is called as a lowering of vapor pressure. That is we are going to show as a delta P1. Nothing but you can write as a what? P1 naught minus P1 divided with the what? P1 naught equal to x2. When you divide with the P1 naught, this is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay, only lowering of vapor pressure means what? P1 naught minus P1 is called lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure means what? If you divide with the P1 naught, that is equal to x2 means it is called as what? Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay, now let us see the definition here again. So it is a what? Ratio of lowering in vapor pressure. So we are talking about ratio for what? First one, to the what? Lowering of vapor pressure to the what? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. It is a what? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. Ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the what? Vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, the relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is equal to mole fraction of solute in the solution. Now that is equal to what? Mole fraction of solute, not the solvent. Okay, so already we discussed the difference. Okay, when you add the non-volatile solute to the solvent, there is a decrease in the vapor pressure. Okay, that is called as a P1 naught minus P1 equal nothing but lowering of vapor pressure. If this value, if you divide with the P1 naught, that is called as what? Relative lowering of vapor pressure. So while doing the numericals, you should be very careful. Are they asking lowering of vapor pressure? Are they asking relative lowering of vapor pressure? If lowering of vapor pressure means you have to find out this value, P1 naught minus P1. Relative lowering of vapor pressure means you have to find out what? P1 naught minus P1 divided with the what? P1. Okay, this one you have to find out. So already we discussed here P1 naught means vapor pressure of pure solvent, P1 means what? Vapor pressure of solution. Okay. Now if you see in the case of here, X2 means what here? Mole fraction of solute. Okay. As we know very well, mole fraction of solute means we can write a number of moles of solute divided with the number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. And 1 means what? Here we are taking the solvent. Okay. Okay. Now here for a dilute solution, N2 is very less than the N1. Why? Because dilute solution means what? We discussed. Dilute solution means very less amount of solute is there in the solvent. That type of solution is called as a dilute solutions. So for dilute solution, N2 is very less. So I am going to neglect the in the denominator I am going to neglect the N2 value. So if you go for the neglect, so what happened here? P1 naught minus P1 divided with the P1 naught equal to N2 divided with the N1. Okay. Why? Because we are talking about the very dilute solutions. Now, so if you go for the, this is the number of moles of solute, number of moles of solvent. So you know very well number of moles means mass by molar mass. So if you go for the again simplification here, number of moles of solute means what? Mass of solute, molar mass of solute into here again here if you go for the here what? Mass by molar mass, here mass by molar mass of solvent means if it's go again numerator, how much you are going getting now? M1 by divided with the W1. So here in the from the above expression molar mass of solute can be calculated. So here our target is what? We have to find out the molar mass of solute, this one M2. Okay. We can find out from the what? By using the colligative properties. Now let us see here. W2 means what? Mass of solute. Okay. W2 means mass of solute. M2 means what? Mass of molar mass of solute. Next come to M1. Here if you go for M1 means what? Molar mass of solvent. W1 means what? Mass of solvent. Okay. This is a solvent. This is a solute. Okay. Now let us see the numerical problem for the based on the relative loading of vapor pressure. Okay. Okay, now let us discuss example 2.6 in the in-text question. Okay, what is the given here? The vapor pressure of pure benzene at a certain temperature is 0.850 bar. Okay, so we have the vapor pressure of what? Pure benzene given. Here you all should be very careful. Pure benzene means P naught. A non-volatile, non-electrolyte solid weighing 0.5 grams when added to the 39 grams of benzene, already molar mass of benzene given. Okay, vapor pressure of the solution then is 0.845 bar. Okay, so already we discussed when you add the non-volatile solute for the, so what happened? The vapor pressure going to be decreases. See here we have 0.85. okay, then after adding the non-volatile, what happened? Non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute. Non-electrolyte means what? It does not going to dissociate. Okay, don't worry, again I will discuss this one. So the value, if you see here, when I add it to the, so value, what happened? Vapor pressure is from 0.85, it's going to decrease as a 0.84 bar. Okay, the value is decreased. See, the decreased value means you won't get the 0.8, should not come like a 0.5, it won't come. We have little bit variation. Okay, that variation we are going to observe. Here you can see 0.85 came to 0.84. okay, 845 bar. Okay, now what we have to find out? What is the molar mass of the solid substance? Nothing but we have to find out this solutes molar mass we have to find out. Now let us see, go for the solution. So here we can see data given one, we have the benzene as a solvent, because already they are telling here we have the some pure benzene is there. Okay, then we have non-volatile, non-electrolyte is there, nothing but it is solute. Okay, so not means what? Here we have the benzene solvent. Okay, this is solvent. Already we have the vapor pressure of pure benzene. How much we have? P1 naught equal to 0.85 bar. Okay, for this you are going to add what? Non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute you add it. Okay, this is our solute. Now you are adding together. For that, after that what happened? Now vapor pressure, what happened here? You are going to get the P1 equal to how much? 0.845, mean vapor pressure is going to be decreased. Okay, so now what is our task now? So this is the vapor pressure of pure benzene, this is for the solution. Okay, so now molar mass of solvent already given, benzene, with the formula of benzene is C6H6 in the data given. If you don't know also we can calculate from the molar mass, means we have 6 carbon atoms. For 1 carbon atom molar mass is how much? Atomic mass 12 plus 6 into 1. Why? Because means for 1 hydrogen we have the atomic mass 1. If you add together you are going to get the 78 grams per mole. Okay, now mass of solvent weight already given, how much we have? W1 39 grams. Okay, mass of solute, how much you are going to add? 0.5 grams, nothing but W2. Okay. Now what we have to find out? Molar mass of solute, nothing but M2 we have to find out. Now let us go for the equation. What we have? P1 naught minus P divided with the what? P1 naught equal to how much? W2 divided with the M2 into M1 divided with the W1. Okay. Now already we have the P1 at how much we have? 0.850. After this is what? Solution. Solution means how much you are getting? 0.845 divided with the what? Pure one what we have? 0.845 equal to W2 already how much we have? 0.5 grams. M2 we have to find out into 78 grams per mole divided with the 39 grams. Grams are going to get cancelled. So finally if you go for the simplification, how much we are getting? M2 equal to 170 gram per mole. This is our molar mass of solute. Okay. So you should be very careful in the numerical in the which type of pressure they given. Okay. So this is our solution pressure. Sometime what happen directly they will tell us a lowering of vapor pressure, means they will give directly this value, means lowering of vapor pressure means you have to take the P1 naught minus P equal to some value. If they get that value, how to take. So you should be very careful which type of data they given. Okay, you should read the data clearly, then only go for the numerical simplification. Okay, this is the molar mass of solute. So we left with our gram per mole. So units of molar mass already you know, some value divided with our gram per mole. Okay.